Tail, welcome to Parker's Reefs. In today's episode I'm going to do some fragging. I've already cut some pieces here, but I'm going to show you 3 products I use to glue these down. First being the Aqua Forest Gel Fix. Second being the BSI's Instaset. This is something that if you haven't seen before, it's going to blow your mind. And thirdly, I'm going to be using Salty Ceramics Australia, brand new frag tiles, new in Australia. Alright, I was doing some fragging this morning and I thought I may as well grab out the camera and show you 3 products I use that get the job done. Like I touched on, I'm going to be using the Aqua Forest glue. I'm going to be using this that is a tip, the BSI Instaset, the tip from my local fish shop, and seeing this in action will change your mind in regards to super glue. It literally is an Instaset. It makes your super glue super glue. And last but not least, I'll be using the brand new in Australia, Salty Ceramics Australia. They've got these incredible 3-inch grow out tiles, which are great for mother colonies. And they've also got some other pretty revolutionary things on the market, including, I guess you'd call them black or dark grey frag tiles. I'm super excited to use these because they're just going to make the colour of my frags pop a lot more. So I've grabbed just a small selection of frags here. I've got them in the Creating an Obsession, I think it's called, frag carriers. Oh, here we are. It's Building an Obsession, sorry. I picked these up from Gallery Aquatica. I grabbed a few of these from Reef stock. They're fantastic little carriers. They have these awesome little inserts that you can then stick your frag tiles in, and they hold them in there. They've got these little they've got these little silicone inserts which just grab onto your tiles, which are really cool. So let's get these tiles out there. I've had them soaking in the water just so that you want to get all the air out of the tile first, otherwise your glue can bubble up on them. But the first one I'm going to use is this huge grow out tile. Now, I've had that soaking in water so that it gets all the oxygen out. So the next thing I want to do is just sort of dry it off, because you want to get as good contact as you can on the tile. So you want to get all the air out of it, but then you want it dry again. So I've dried that off. I've got my Aqua Forest Gel Fix. One tip with this glue, always give it a shake. It does tend to separate. You get the thin stuff comes to the top and the thick stuff goes down to the bottom. So if you don't give it a shake, you won't have the mixed glue. And when you go to squeeze it, it can run out real quick. So always give it a good shake. I'm going to get a nice little red Monty cap frag here. I'm just going to give that a gentle tap down as well. He's quite slimy and a bit wet. I'm going to sit him aside there. Now, let's open up this glue. Let's pour just a dab on there. Put a decent amount on there actually. All right, so I've got a nice little amount of glue there. Gonna get my frag, sit that on there, and technically you could say that's good to go, but I guarantee if I pick that up, oh, it's gonna stay there. However, I could easily lift it up and move it, whereas if I put some of this Instaset on there, it literally does instantly set the super glue. And from my experimentation so far, it's also reef safe. So now, that frag is set. It ain't moving. It is perfectly set. It's fantastic. It's good stuff. I'm going to get that back in some water just so that the Monty cap itself doesn't dry out. All right, what I might do now is I'll move the camera in a little bit closer and do the next couple of frags just so you can see how it works. All right, the next frag I'm going to do is one of my trademark pieces, and that's a Dallas. It's a big green stag, and I'm going to use one of these Salty Ceramics Australia, one of these square frag tiles, nice black one to give good contrast. It'll sit on there quite well. You can see it's a pretty large frag for the tile, but that's where the high quality glue and the Instaset will really get that setting well. So I'm just going to give that tile a quick dry off. I'm going to sit it back into the holder there because they work really well. I'll do the same for the frag. Let's get some of this glue on there. Get a decent dab. I find people use not enough glue and that tends to cause problems. And I'll get my Instaset ready. All right, let's sit that right down in there. Make sure it's in a good spot. We can put this Instaset on. And that is now instantly set. In fact, I'm even going to try holding it by that. Yep, that's set. That's pretty cool. Instaset rocks. Just going to sit that back down in there. Keep it wet because we don't want frags drying out. Okay, what's next? Got a really nice blue and purple stag here. I'm not sure how well you can pick up the colors under the sunlight on that camera, but we'll give it a shot. Again, I'm going to use a Salty Ceramics Australia tile. This time I'm going to use one of their hexagonal tiles. Exactly the same. It's got a really thick square, well, I was going to say square, it's hexagonal base to it. Still fits really neatly in these holders, which is great. But that's a strong base. That stem, you're not going to snap that off accidentally. You'll be able to really wedge that into some rocks and it ain't going to go anywhere. So I'm just going to sit him back in there. Let's give this frag a little dry off on the bottom. We'll just give that a test fit. That should sit pretty well. It's obviously going to need a little bit of glue to hold it. One other thing I should point out is these frag plugs from Salty Ceramics Australia have got this beautiful dimple in the middle there, which just holds things like SPS really, really well. So now we've dried it off, let's get some glue in there. That should be enough for this guy. I'll get some Instaset ready. You can see I just use a dropper for this. You can actually spray it, but I tend to, just to minimize the contact with the coral, even though I find it to be reef safe, I don't want to spray my corals with it. Sit that in there, hit it with a bit of Instaset. Give that Instaset a second to there's probably too much glue there to be honest, but that's all right. And he's set. Let's take him out. And yeah, that frag is set. I hope you're getting that on camera. Instaset is fantastic. I don't like holding onto frags in a place for so long, or trying to get ones that are going to sit perfectly in the middle. It's a real pain. All right, so we've got the same sort of process here, but let's just get the good times rolling because I've got some more frags here. Take that hair off that coral. Right, the Aqua Forest Gel Fix, I picked that up from my local fish store. They always have this stuff in stock. It's, I think it's about 20-25 bucks a tube, quite good value. To be honest, there's all sorts of glues on the market. I'm not going to tell you which one's the best because it comes down to personal preference. The AF Gel Fix I find to be a pretty good consistency. It's not too thick, not too thin. In fact, it's probably on the thicker side, which is where I like it. Make up your own opinion on that. People like really thick glues, ones that are really hard to even squeeze out of the tube. Other people like glues that are super runny. So pick one that works for you. This one I find to be, it comes in a good sized tube. You get a lot for your money. The tube doesn't clog up as long as you keep that tip dry. I'd avoid putting that tip into the water because that will set the glue off. Remember to give it a good shake and you can't go wrong. If you do get the tip clogged, you can drive the nail in there and pull it out and it'll free it up again. The next product here is the Instaset, which I actually pick up from a hobby shop. My local radio controlled shop carried out. You see it was $24.99 for 236 milliliters. That's a lifetime supply. You use probably 1/4 mil per frag, so that's 1,000 frags worth of Instaset there. And finally, the Salty Ceramics Australia plugs, tiles. Let me see what else I got. I got a full box of plugs here from Salty Ceramics Australia. If I get another one out, here's these incredible 3-inch Mother Colony grow out tiles. They work really well if you want to put something like Zoas on there, or even like Phoenix Montipora or something and you want it to grow out. Work really well. What else have we got from them? We've got some of those cool hexagonal style tiles. So if you want to sit them next to each other like that, and you can stack them in, fill up a frag rack like that, they work really well for that. They do those in a slightly smallest size as well if you don't want to have the huge mother colonies. What else have we got? We've got the square plates in different sizes. Let me open these ones. These ones are actually quite cool. They're like a stepped plate. I'm not sure what you'd use them for, but I reckon they will have a cool purpose. You can encourage growth down. You could probably cut different parts off. They do them in larger sizes. And one of my favorites, which I've used pretty extensively today, are the grey and black plugs. This is something I haven't really seen on the market from any other brand, and just really allows the color of your frags to pop. So if you go into a frag show and you've got black plugs against like a beautiful blue or a beautiful purple coral, you know it's going to stand out. But that's my fragging process, and if I hold onto this one and shake it, you see, it's not going anywhere. That glue with Instaset is an absolute winner. Alright guys, that's about all I've got time for today. I hope there's been some helpful tips in there. Salty Ceramic Australia frag tiles are absolute highest quality fragging tiles I've come across in Australia. So it's great to see them on the market out here now. The Aqua Forest Gel Fix glue, really good consistency, comes in a good size tube, good value for money, and that BSI Instaset is just a game changer. If you do many frags at all, you're going to want to get onto that. So like I said, that's about all I've got time for today. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. And if you've got any questions, pop it in the comment section down below. Till next time, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.